I'm going to continue to say it. The people that get it, and the people that don't get it probably never will. Before we even start this video, I want you guys to pay careful attention to something important in the title. The title of the video we're about to watch. I can't even call him a suspect because no crime was committed in the video. So I'm just gonna say the guy that is being harassed by the police, okay? This guy is a vet, a Marine vet, right? People got this misconception that government doesn't pick on government, that police seem to have a prerequisite of race, job, and class on people before they harass, and that's just not true. Cops do this to everybody, all classes of citizens, all races of citizens. They are above the law, they do whatever the hell they want, and cops only get in trouble when they've pissed somebody off in a position of power within their own agency. What's about to happen in this video is just one of the myriad examples of why you should never just blindly trust a fucking certified professional. I'm gonna keep hammering this point until people get it, okay? Police are certified professionals. They have the training, and yes, they do know more than the average person when it comes to law and whatnot. But if this video does not show you why you should never blindly trust a certified professional, I don't know what will. So we're gonna get to the video, and I'm gonna say what I need to say.
Officer Brown, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
Sorry.
Or you're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds, illicit currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
So, mistake number one, okay? People got this misconception that if they've done no crime, if they have nothing to hide, they should just cooperate 100% with the police and everything will be fine. I'm going to prove to the police that I've done nothing wrong. And it doesn't work like that. So, a lot of cops have egos, okay? Even if you've done nothing wrong, like, because cops don't like admitting defeat, they will find something to get you in trouble for. It's unfortunate, but when you're in this situation, never try to prove cops wrong, right? Don't resist arrest if they place you under arrest, and comply with the orders that they give you, but don't ever try to prove them wrong. And you're gonna see why this ends up biting them in the ass. So the lawyer chick is going to break down. Now, the lawyer chick here is unbiased for the most part. She's gonna basically break down why, or try to break down why the cops are doing what they are doing. So just listen to what she says here.
That clip shows a retired U.S. Marine being robbed of his life savings on the side of a highway. He was not arrested for, charged with, or convicted of any crime. He wasn't even ticketed. This is a rare glimpse into an abuse of power that thousands of innocent Americans experience each year. Through a public records request, the Institute for Justice was able to acquire body and dash cam footage of an entire roadside seizure, from the initial traffic stop to the seized money being deposited at the bank.
Good job, because cops usually don't want to give up their footage, so whoever got all of this did a really good job.
This is the most complete footage we have ever seen. On February 19, 2021, our client Stephen Lara was pulled over outside of Reno by the Nevada Highway Patrol. He was driving to visit his daughters in a small California town just west of Reno.
Now, I want you guys to pay careful attention to, again, as the lawyer chick pointed out, the officers had absolutely no probable cause. But, because no crime was committed, right? I want you guys to pay careful attention to what the officer says he stopped this guy initially for. You know, because even if you're committing no crime, cops have so much fucking power that they can just pull you over even though you're not breaking the law. Just listen to this shit.
Driver of this vehicle was following that red and flew a semi
Yeah, he's driving under the speed limit because if he drives the speed limit or goes over the speed limit. So the thing about state police and state troopers, because they don't actually deal with real crime, what they think they're the kings of the highway. So usually what they'll do is they'll go exactly the speed limit, and if you go 1 kilometer, if you go even 1% quicker than they're going, they'll pull you over automatically. So this guy probably knows this. Like when you see cops on the highway, sometimes you go under the speed limit just so they don't pull you over. Right? Just so they don't say that you're speeding or going faster than them. But as you can see, that doesn't even work here. This cop was determined to get his bonus for the month by arresting somebody or making something happen. So he was determined he's going to pull somebody over today. Because last time I checked, going under the speed limit is not against the law.
Initially, I thought I was getting pulled over because maybe I had expired tags. I had a rental car. Unfortunately, I had some car trouble.
And this guy's innocent. Like, because he's a retired Marine, he has total trust in his government. He never thought the government would fuck him because he served the government. I think to retire as a Marine, you gotta do 20 years, so he probably never thought in a million years that, oh, look, I've committed no crimes, I've broken no laws, but this cop is having a bad day, or he needs to meet his quota, so I'm gonna be his victim.
Had some car
There's just blind, innocent trust in the government that a lot of sheep usually have.
trouble, and that was necessary to get a rental
Because they never think their government can do them any wrong.
car.
They think the only people that get in trouble are
short
criminals.
duration for that weekend.
I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your...
You appreciate him driving under the speed limit, but you just called him driving under the speed limit odd. This is a major reason you never trust people that are being nice to you, because there's always an ulterior motive. Look how nice and friendly they teach us this in the academy. They call it the officer friendly. If you're nice and polite and you use compliments and you make people like you, they'll surrender more information. It's a manipulation and interrogation tactic. I hated this class in the police academy. Like we had a whole class on it. Then we had to take a test on it, because those of y'all that watch my channel, you guys know I'm not nice at all. I prefer to just be brutally honest with people, even if it hurts their feelings. So having a whole fucking class on how to be officer friendly, this class really infuriated me, but I digress. I don't like dishonesty and deception, but let's keep watching.
Following distance, especially around commercial vehicles.
The highway patrol officer seems friendly and reasonable at first, even complimenting Steven's driving. He orders Steven to exit his vehicle and starts asking him a series of questions unrelated to why he was pulled over.
Now this is a big clue right here. Everybody watching the video, I want you guys to understand something very important. If you get pulled over for a traffic stop, right, usually, because you know state police and state troopers, they love traffic stops because that's 90% of their job, because they don't really deal with real crime like regular police. But if you get pulled over by the police, usually what they assign that it's something minor is they'll pull you over and they'll say, hey, listen, Billy Bob, you were going 10 over the speed limit. I'm just going to give you a ticket. I'm going to give you a warning. Can I see your license and registration? If it's nothing serious, that's usually what they'll do. They'll take your information, write your ticket. It'll take about 5 minutes, and then they'll have you go on your way. If you get pulled over and they don't tell you what crime you've committed, but they ask you to step out of the vehicle, you're in some deep shit. Because they're either seeking to arrest you for something serious, or they're seeking to ruin your day in some type of way, and they're probably not going to leave until they've achieved their goals. So, if you get pulled over, you haven't committed any crime, the cop tells you haven't committed any crime, and they tell you to step out of the vehicle, your day is about to get ruined.
Police often ask questions like this to see if a suspect's story lines up.
You a fighter?
My fighter?
Yeah, you got a tap-out shirt on.
Well, I've got a lot of training. I'm a retired Marine.
What do your daughters do, man?
Ever been in trouble with law enforcement before?
When did you leave? Where did you leave? What part of Texas do you think in your body?
So, The cop here is doing what I advertise people to do in my videos. In order to catch somebody in a lie, you be patient, you wait, you get them talking, and you just wait. You let them talk as much as possible, and you see if there's any contradictions in their story. If it contradicts, it is not true. Police are trained to do this, and that's what the cop right now is doing. Because remember, this guy has broken no laws, but the cop is trying to get him to say something that can make him be legally allowed to take action against him.
Harassing. What were you doing for work up there?
The officer then explains the real reason he pulled Stephen over.
Hey, while I'm working on this, let me ask you something, man. This is gonna sound kind of weird. Part of my job out here is I do what's called highway interdiction. I look for people that are smuggling contraband through our state, across the country, weapons, humans, drugs, illicit currency, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of? Okay. No firearms, no explosives. Okay. Are there any drugs in the vehicle? Cocaine?
I don't do drugs.
Yeah, I gotta ask all these silly questions, right?
Funny enough, my polygraph examiner, when I was going into law enforcement, talked to me the same exact type of way. You know, they joke, they laugh, they smile, they giggle, they act like they're your friend. Really what their job is, they're trying to get information out of you. Don't fall for it.
Okay.
So, the vet guy, the victim, I'm not going to call him a suspect because he's committed no crime. Like, he's just an innocent fucking bystander right now, but he's being harassed by the cop. So, unfortunately, he doesn't make his situation any better. Again, he's a retired Marine. He probably thinks he can blindly trust the certified professional known as the police officer. So, he's going to sing like a canary. The cop's going to ask him 100 different questions. He's going to answer 100 different questions. In a situation like this, shut the fuck up, keep your mouth shut. Politely tell the officer, listen, I'm not trying to impede your job, but I need to see a lawyer. I'm not answering any questions. The questions itself, so like the cop's going to ask him one specific question, and he's going to answer the question, and it just doesn't make the situation any better.
Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's a large amount of U.S. currency to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's over 10,000 in there? Okay. How much money you got in there? Okay.
People. Never fucking tell law enforcement that you have a lot of money in your vehicle. Because at that point, they're going to think you're a drug dealer. They're going to think they're just going to assume you're involved with some sort of illegal activity. Now, having a large amount of money by itself is not a crime, but don't surrender any information to law enforcement. It won't do you any favors, right? It's better if you make them figure out everything for themselves. It'll save you a lot of trouble in the long run. But again, he's blindly trusting the certified professional, and he has no idea how bad that's gonna fuck him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today? That's okay with you? Okay, perfect.
Never give cops consent, because again, he's committed no crime, right? The police are not your friends, okay? He's not asking if he can search your vehicle to make sure you're safe. He's asking to search your vehicle because, as of right now, he has no legal reason to stop you in the first place. But what he's doing, most state, like, you have about 30 minutes. It was actually a Supreme Court ruling, right? When a police officer stops you, they have 30 minutes to articulate if there's probable cause that a crime has occurred or in the process of being committed. The cop has no probable cause because no crime has been committed. So he's asking to search your vehicle so he can find something in your vehicle that will give him probable cause to either make an arrest, to take your money, or to make something happen to you. Now, you told him you have over 10,000 USD in the car. Big mistake. Don't tell cops anything. Then you told him that he can search your car. Yeah. If it's not obvious what's about to happen, it's just about to go. It's just about to get bad from here. Really, really bad.
Although it's Stephen's right to refuse, he gives the officer permission to search his car.
I didn't want to come across as being non-cooperative or combative. So I did what I felt was right, and I was very honest, very forthcoming. I was also very respectful, and I just wanted to make their job as easy as possible.
And you fucking did that. You are making their job really easy right now. I said something along the line, I don't remember which video I said this in, but I said something along the lines of, what people tell you their job is not actually what their job is, right? Police will tell you all the time that it's their job to protect and serve. That's actually false. In college I did a research paper on Warren versus District of Columbia. Google Warren versus District of Columbia. I'm not really going to talk about that in this video, but just Google that. Protect and serve is an oath they take, right? How is harassing an innocent guy and taking all of his fucking money protecting and serving him, for example? So yeah, you're making his job real easy right now, buddy. He's going to get a big fat bonus at the end of the month.
That I could be on my way.
If my point's not obvious by now, don't give the police information. It will only be used against you.
To spend time with my children.
We're now 20 minutes into the traffic stop.
Good. Hey, can you head out to a traffic stop? Or are you busy on that other stuff going on today?
So notice, he's not calling for another state trooper. He's calling for a fucking DEA agent on another jurisdiction. Because, again, he thinks, because the guy surrendered information that there's over 10,000 USD in the car, that this officer, he thinks there's something fishy going on, and he's going to make damn sure that something happens to this guy, you know. For what, and the thing is, you never know an officer's intents, you know. They're not legally obligated to tell you the truth. They can legally lie to you. The courts have ruled that. It's just going to go bad from here.
So if I'm still searching a car, but big bundle of money, says probably at least 100,000.
That interaction shows what's at the heart of the officer's interest in Stephen. He knows that even though Stephen did nothing wrong, the DEA will adopt the seizure of his cash and return a portion of the money to the Highway Patrol for the favor of giving them the case. Here's how an adoption works. When state or local police seize cash, cars, or other property, federal law enforcement takes over the forfeiture. The federal agency does all the work and kicks back up to 80% of the proceeds to the state agency that seized the property. In Stephen's case, that would mean the DEA would take control of the cash and seek to forfeit it through federal law, ignoring the important limitations that Nevada law places on seizures and forfeitures. In 2019 alone, federal agencies made $334 million in equitable sharing payments to state and local law enforcement agencies. In this case, the Nevada Highway Patrol stands to gain nearly $70,000 by taking Stephen's money.
Now, I want you guys to understand something, because I had to learn this the hard way during my short stay in law enforcement. You know, you wonder where power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and a corrupt tree cannot produce good fruit. You wonder why so many officers are corrupt. You wonder why they do stuff like this, right? The lawyer chick in the video basically explained it perfectly. It's usually about the money. Cops don't get paid a lot of money, okay? You have to understand they gotta survive, right? I did a video on how doctors gotta survive. Their bills, okay? Now, a police officer's bills are not nearly as high as a doctor's, but you have to understand, here in Maryland, the average agency pays anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 a year to a regular officer, right? If you're a guy, you have kids, you have mortgage, you have car payments, you have electric bill, gas bill, you know, that's nothing, right? Now, if you are city police, if you're a correctional officer, if you're in a field where there's a large amount of criminal activity, there's always opportunity for overtime. There's always opportunity for you to make more money, but it's still nothing. if you're state police, like the Nevada Highway Patrol, state troopers usually don't have much opportunity to make more money because state police don't usually deal with crime. What they usually do is they pull grannies over on the highway and they write people tickets all day. You don't really have much overtime opportunities in state police. Now, I'm going to deliver a coup de grace right here, right? After I got fired as a correctional officer, it was broken down to me how much extra money those corrupt officers were making. Some were making 100, 200,000 extra a year just from the illegal side deals they were doing. I mean, one stupid officer even brought a firearm in for one of the inmates. And on the streets, you know, there's different layers of corruption. You know, you'll often see city cops getting investigated for, you know, giving criminals firearms on the streets and helping sell drugs and just a whole lot of other shit, right? What the state police do and what the federal agents do is they do shit like this. Hey, if you see large amounts of money on somebody, give it to us and we'll split the profit. Everybody gets an extra paycheck. It's unfortunate for the innocent guy that we're screwing, but everybody gets paid. And again, let me repeat what I said earlier at the beginning of the video. This guy has committed no crime. They still have not told him a crime that he's... Look, the fucking officer has the brass balls to even say this guy is a good guy. Like, fucking hell. Insanity. So yeah, you won't usually find state police in corruption cases involved with like selling criminals guns and dealing drugs on the street. You won't usually see them involved with stuff like that, but you usually see them involved with stuff like this. Waiting for innocent people on the highway to pull over and take all their money on the side of the road. It's crazy.
You're a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
So how much cash is that?
About 100 grand.
100 grand. Okay.
And look, you can tell the vet's getting annoyed. I mean, his fists are balled. You can tell he's getting annoyed right now. As he should be. The traffic stop right now is about 30 minutes. And again, he has committed no crime.
So, as you know, right, I'm a vet, he's a vet, you're a vet. It's not illegal to carry currency half.
Oh, you just told him he committed no crime. Nice. Let him fucking go.
Don't make us ask some questions on why someone has 100,000. I can understand why you don't trust banks, especially in this day and age right now.
Stephen keeps his savings in cash. Maybe that's uncommon, but as the officer acknowledges, it's not illegal.
I have nothing to hide from you.
I appreciate that. Give me a few seconds, I'll make a couple phone calls, right?
The officer first calls his superior. He interrupts that call to speak again with the DEA agent.
Again, if you get pulled over by the police and you notice they're making phone calls to other jurisdictions, it's just gonna go bad. Like, at that point, the officers are making it obvious they're trying to nail you for something. So.
Are you on your way out here? Oh. Okay, I'm waiting to hear back from Shane to see if he comes out here. This is it's a strange one, but not a strange one. Consented to a search, said there was money up there. We located what he says is $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie. There's also, I haven't gone into it a bunch.
And just listen to how the officer is talking. You can tell he doesn't feel bad or guilty for what it is he's about to do. Like, this is just normal everyday work to this guy. Oh yeah, we're gonna stop an innocent person and take his money. Just another day at the work, guys. You know. It's just fucking crazy. Yet people think we should blindly trust certified professionals. Oh boy.
I'm waiting to get back to Shane, but there's a bunch of bank receipts and stuff in there as well to show the currency. This might be Shane. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, this is Shane. Let me call you back.
Around 20 minutes later, the officer's superior, a highway patrol sergeant, is recorded on his body cam chatting with the same DEA agent who apologizes for not being able to make it.
No issues. It's too easy to do an adoption. You know, we contacted you, so I think everything's going to be okay. And I'll text.
It's too easy to do an adoption. So basically what that agent was saying is that, again, even though no crime has been committed, it's going to be pretty easy for them to get the evidence. They already got the evidence they need because the guy foolishly surrendered it to the police, not knowing any better, you know. But I mean, so he basically admitted that they already have what they need to do an adoption, which is basically they're going to take his money, give it to the feds, and then they'll get 80%. And again, like police officers don't get paid a lot of money, especially city police and people. The cops that are actually get that have to deal with real criminals, they don't get paid nearly enough for what they got to do. So that's why you have widespread cases of corruption like this. Any opportunity cops have to make extra money, most of them are going to take it. Again, they got kids, mortgage, when times get hard, you got to become a criminal yourself, even if you're a criminal wearing a badge.
Text you the money count after we get it. It'll probably be a couple hours.
Remember, there's still no probable cause to seize Stephen's money. All the officers have is a large amount of cash, and cash is not a crime. But the sergeant isn't giving up.
Doesn't matter. Police are above the law. It don't matter if you haven't committed. And again, I want you guys to realize something. Even though there's no crime being committed right here, this guy cannot leave. If he attempts to leave this traffic stop, it could probably result in his death. So, no crime is being committed, but he's being held there against his will. Like, it's fucking insane.
So why
Landed to free my ass.
I just don't trust him. That's just my reasoning. It's my personal thing.
Oh, I'm not trying
And,
to convince you
I
one
like-
or the other. It's just it's not usual.
After questioning,
What the police are saying here is that sheep act a certain way. So if you are not acting like sheep, if you're doing anything abnormal that's suspicious, because cops are trained in the academy that people were like, they literally tell you this, like they call it the sheep versus wolf dog. They teach us that the officers are the wolf dogs and that everybody else is the sheep, and that criminals are the wolves. The wolf dogs protect the sheep against the wolves. So they literally teach you in the academy that regular people are sheep, and if sheep do anything that deviates from the norm, it's suspicious. So they train you this in the academy. Now, state police, depending on the state police agency, because Maryland has several. We have Maryland State Police, Transportation Authority, Natural Resources. Those natural resource police, they're in the academy for 8 to 9 months. So that's basically a whole year of this shit being reinforced. So some agencies are longer than others with their training. So depending on your states, that can be anywhere from half a year to a full year, learning that, yeah, if the sheep are acting differently, that's suspicious and we got to make something happen to them. It's crazy. Like, you see things a lot differently when you're on the inside, but I digress. I've resigned a while ago. I'm not on the inside anymore, but I digress.
Stephen, the sergeant speaks privately with the officer who pulled him over.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I kind of leaning more towards it's odd, but
It's odd, but it's not packaged
it's
like
not,
normal.
no, and he's answering the questions. There's receipts here, and
I would
even though
like to put.
He's cooperating fully with the police, and it's not going to matter. They're still going to take his money.
The dog on the currency.
They don't care.
The two officers agree that
Now, this is a common tactic you see in law enforcement. We learned about this when the K-9 unit came to the class and explained to us, what their job is. So basically what they're going to do is they know no crime has been committed, so they're going to use the K-9. The K-9 is basically a cheat code. So courts have ruled that if a K-9 officer lets his dog sniff around you or your car or your property and he gets a reaction, the Supreme Court has ruled that that is enough for probable cause. Now, you learn in the academy that it's very easy to get your K-9 dog to react. So if cops really want to screw you, they'll call the K-9 over, they'll call the K-9 unit over, and, they'll get a reaction probably 90% of the time, and that gives them probable cause. So earlier I said he didn't do himself any favors by letting them search his car. Keeping it 100 with you, even if he consented to not be searched, they probably would have just got the K-9 out, had the dog sniff around the car, get an alert, and they probably would have just searched his car anyways. So, unfortunately, this guy was probably screwed no matter what he did. Now, people that are in the know, they want this policy to be removed because it's ridiculous that you can be committing no crime and the cops can radio for a canine unit. They come with their dog gets a reaction, and they now have probable cause to fuck your life up. It's really ridiculous, but yeah, unfortunately, that's what's about to happen here.
Stephen has been forthcoming and has years' worth of bank receipts showing that he has withdrawn his savings from his bank accounts. But the sergeant orders the junior officer to put the dog on the currency. The sergeant puts Stephen's money in an open Ziploc bag and throws the open package to the ground on the side of the road, less than 40 yards from Stephen's car.
Unfucking believable. They're trying to hide what they're doing from the guy. Although it's rare to see a canine dog that's not a German Shepherd. This might just be a specialist drug sniffing dog. Yep, and look at that. He got a reaction. That just gave them probable cause. Now that guy's money is fucking... Yeah, this is not gonna go well.
Positive alert.
Positive alert.
We'll go forward with it.
Okay.
And people wonder why I say that, because I get asked all the time, oh, what about the good cops? A corrupt tree cannot produce good fruits, okay? You notice how none of these officers are saying, hey man, this guy's committed no crime. Let's just let him go. No officers in the video are saying that. They're all trying to collectively screw this guy, a veteran who has committed no crimes. Like, it's fucking crazy. But we're supposed to blindly trust certified professionals? Get the fuck out of here.
This positive alert appears to have given the sergeant what he thinks he needs to take Stephen's life savings. Remember, both officers have planned all along to hand the money to the DEA. They are looking for a legal justification. But numerous studies have shown anywhere between 67 and 100% of U.S. currency has trace amounts of drugs. For that reason, a dog alert to currency on its own does not show the currency was used in an illegal drug transaction.
What we're going to do, I believe there's drug proceeds, dog alerted to it.
Drug proceeds?
Yeah, it's very...
Look at the look on his face. He can't believe it. Like, it almost looks like he's about to cry. It finally sunk in. It finally sunk into this man that they're going to take his money and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Because again, the canine, it's a cheat code in law enforcement. Oh, you want to screw somebody over, but they haven't committed a crime and you don't legally have probable cause? No problem. Radio for a canine unit and have them sniff around the property, get an alert, and now you have probable cause to do whatever the fuck you want. And again, even though this guy has committed no crime, he cannot leave. If he tries to leave or run away, he'll probably be killed. You know, it's crazy. Landed the free, blindly trust certified professionals, and everything will be alright. Get the fuck out of here. And soon these officers will be enforcing the mandatory vaccine laws and travel restrictions and whatnot. You know, it's just crazy, man. We're supposed to blindly trust these guys. Let's continue the video.
Common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana from Northern California to all states east, even from Reno.
Look, this guy can't believe it. He's looking at the sky. He's not even listening to the officer. He knows. It's over.
I can tell you right now, there's...
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, okay? We're going to seize it today, but that doesn't mean we're the final judgment on it. It's going to go through the DEA, okay? So the DEA will contact you, and the
That's his life savings. He's gonna need to pay money to get a lawyer just to get his own money back. So no matter what happens with this case, he's gonna lose money. A completely innocent guy committed no crimes. No matter what happens, he's gonna lose money. His name is gonna go on records that he's been contacted by the police for a crime, even though he's committed no crime. Like, this is just gonna make his life worse. It's gonna make his life negative, and nothing positive is gonna happen from here. And again, let me reiterate. He served the government for over 20 years because he's a Marine vet, okay? And he seems like an upstanding guy. He seems like, you know, He seems like a cool guy, but none of that matters. Those cops are having a bad day, or maybe they wanted to fulfill their quotas, or maybe they needed to get some bonus because they're behind on their mortgage. Whatever the reason is, like, they made up their mind that they were going to take this guy's money as soon as he said that he had over $10,000 in the car. So, I mean, it is what it is.
DEA will provide you with a means to fight it. You're going to have to provide your pay stubs. You're going to have to provide your other receipts and stuff like that. Okay?
Stephen now has no.
And again, none of the other cops around are saying, hey man, hey sergeant, this guy has committed no crime. Let's just let him go, okay? It's not right to just take a guy's money when he hasn't even done anything wrong. This is just messed up, man. None of the cops are saying that. Like, none of them. They're just gonna, you know, and this is usually what happens. You know, that's why good cops are a myth, because they never stop the bad cops, ever. And if they do, they usually get fired.
Nothing. He had to convince his brother to wire him $1,000 to continue his trip to see his daughters.
Just want to let you know, I know you're just doing your job. That money I worked really hard for. The money that I have in my jacket is only $3. I have money to pay for my kids, my bills.
They don't care. Law enforcement agencies have specific types of people that they seek to hire. The types of people that they seek to hire are usually people that have no empathy, usually people like, these cops don't care about you. These cops don't care about your kids. These cops don't care that they just took all of your money and that you have no money to pay for food for your daughter. They don't care. They don't give a shit. What they give a shit about is that they're behind on their mortgage, or maybe they have a car payment behind, and you just gave them, they're probably going to get paid $5,000 extra each just for this case. That's all they care about. Like, yeah, we're $5,000 richer, everybody. Woohoo! And we're going to all get promotions after this. That's what they care about. They don't give a shit about you or your kids or your family. People have to understand this. When I hear people say stuff like we should just blindly trust the certified professionals, they seem to have this naive viewpoint that just because somebody is a certified professional, they have your best interest at heart, and that they care about you and that they're infallible. That's not the case at all, okay? Humans naturally have intentions. If the intent is selfish, if the intent is malicious, them being a certified professional will only screw you even more, unfortunately.
Hotel, we're gonna get that car back to Texas. So, I know you're just doing your job. I don't know what to do. Probably gonna be stuck here unless somebody sends me some money. No way I'm providing for my children.
They don't care, dude. You're wasting your breath. They don't care.
Get back to Texas.
After nearly an hour and a half on the side of a highway, Stephen was given a receipt for U.S. currency with a number to call the DEA agent.
This is all I get here?
That's what you get, yes, sir. You're going to get noticed in the mail as well at that address, okay?
I find it even more so concerning that if this could happen to me as a combat veteran who served overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan, this could happen to anybody.
Exactly. This can and look, this is not an old case. November 30th, 2021. It is December 3rd right now as of the date of me making this video. So yeah, if it can happen to this guy, who many people would consider to be the perfect, upstanding citizen, then it can happen to anybody else. Just because you blindly trust certified professionals does not mean you won't get screwed. Just because you're a law-abiding citizen that's never committed a crime a day in their life doesn't mean that a cop Doesn't mean that you cannot get screwed by the system. And in most people's eyes, he did everything that he was supposed to do during this traffic stop, and he still got screwed. So, I'm going to finish the video, and then I'm going to catch you guys in the next one, because this video is about 30 minutes longer than I intended it to be.
After 6 months without his nearly $87,000, Stephen sued the DEA in federal court to get it back. Only then, after the Institute for Justice filed a lawsuit on his behalf and the Washington Post called the agency for a comment, did they agree to return Stephen's cash. Stephen may have gotten back his money, but his case goes on. Stephen and the Institute for Justice are also suing the Nevada Highway Patrol in state court to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Not only is this gonna happen to somebody else, like, you can tell the cops in this video are used to doing this. Like, this is normal procedure for them. You know, what's gonna happen is they'll probably pay out like $100,000 on the lawsuit. So this guy will get probably more money than he originally had, but I want you guys to understand what just happened, right? They took his money, and it took him half a year just for him to get his money back, and he's still under investigation. So I mean, yeah, if his lawsuit is successful, he'll get more money back. But even then, the money that he's going to get back from the lawsuit is probably just going to be the money to pay off his lawyer in the first place. All this stuff costs money, guys. When you get in trouble with the police and you got to hire a lawyer, that costs money. And lawyers are not cheap. Like, it's crazy. They took his fucking money, and then he had to pay for a lawyer just to get his money back. So, yeah, scratch what I just said. The money he gets from the settlement, that'll probably just be enough to pay off his lawyer. Because having a lawyer on pay for 6 months straight, that's a lot of fucking money. Those that get it, and those that don't get it probably never will, man. I hope the people that watch this video, that make the arguments that you should just blindly listen to certified professionals, I really hope you guys are looking at videos like this and giving it a second evaluation.
Stephen's situation isn't unique, but he is one of the lucky ones. He will get his money back. Most victims of forfeiture don't have a public interest law firm like IJ to take their case. And if they cannot afford an attorney, and cannot figure out how to navigate convoluted forfeiture processes on their own, the government walks away with their property without ever having to prove any crime.
Yeah, and again, I still don't, like, they even say he committed no crime in this video.
This highway robbery must end.
Literally,
it
highway
is time
robbery.
to abolish civil forfeiture.
This video absolutely... Watching this video the first time utterly infuriated me, but I calmed down and I had to make this video to show my audience, like, listen, you can blindly trust certified professionals if you want to, and stuff like this will happen. Now, I understand not trusting the banks. Believe me, I do. But the smart thing to do in the future, don't have all of your life savings in your car. Okay, if you're going on a trip, take a couple thousand. Take about what you need and some extra in case some crap happens. But never carry 100,000, because he's gonna get his money back, and the lawsuit is probably gonna cover his lawyer fees, but you have to calculate the unknown, man. Like, what happens if somebody steals your car and robs you? Then you're really never gonna get your money back. But that's neither here nor there. I hope this video, for those that watched the entire thing, I hope this has taught people a lesson, man. You cannot just blindly trust anybody, even if they're even certified professionals. You don't know what their intent is. You don't know if they have malicious intents. You can, Never blindly just trust anybody just because they got a badge on, just because they got a smock on, just because they got a college degree. You know, be awake, understand what's really going on in the world, and take care of yourself. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.